Okay, welcome to J150, Introduction to Criminal Law, our open house today. And today I'm going to go over the parameters of expectations for this quarter, and you'll have the details and information that will help you for the next 11 weeks to perform and do well and to receive a good grade. So let's get right into it. Start by sharing my screen. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to share. Let's go back to, Okay, so now let's share the screen here. There we go. And you can see this is your home page. You see my name, my phone number, 630-660-8480. And a reminder that students, you can call me, text me, or email me any hour of the day except the 25th hour of the day. This is a statement that I take seriously, and I mean what I say in there, and I'm hoping that you will take me up on it. I've had students who have responded and contacted me many times concerning this. So feel free to reach out to me concerning that. Also, additional course requirements. Reminder that you are to conduct research for all papers. If you don't, you will lose 2 points in addition to what's in the rubric for failure to conduct research. 2 points will come off. Even if you have a perfect paper, you're still going to lose 2 points. All written assignments should also be in APA format. That means citations in the body of the paper and references at the end. And then I provide some assistance for you as far as helping you to be successful involving student success, our library and resources, answer page, writing guide, and then our resource page. This link right will guide you to resources that will help you doing your research. I do recommend that when you do provide resources that you never use Wikipedia. You will lose points automatically for using Wikipedia. It is a very unreliable source. Many professors tell you that. Then tutors. Now let me say this. Tutoring is not just for people who are failing. Tutoring can also help you to perform better. And there are tutors that are available to help you through Tutor Match. It tells you this particular information I included in the course to help you just by clicking at one link. It will tell you how to get tutoring help. It'll tell you options online, by phone, or in person. And it tells you that you need assistance with assignment or a project. Tutoring services can help you. And so you want to utilize that. It's very, very good. These are students who are doing this, and I have had opportunities to contact students who are interested in becoming tutors. If you're interested in becoming a tutor, let me know, and I can connect you to the right people. And then our last section on this side involves this is our page. This is the link for all lectures, open house included. Our open house today, our live lectures, first one will take place a week from, not a week from today, but Tuesdays. Tuesday. The only reason that we're doing an open house today is because Tuesday was a holiday, and I wanted to make sure you got an open house this week so that you will be ready to go forward next week with the lecture. So it will be Tuesdays, every Tuesday, starting with the 11th. week 2, week 4, 6, 8, and 10. And our lectures will usually last an hour and a half. The reason why they'll last an hour and a half is because of the fact that I usually try to cover 2 of the PowerPoints and also go over the assignments for the week as well, okay? And then again, I provide information about writing assistance that you have here, the writing process. There's links for it right there, the APA information as well. It is where you go to get that information for assistance with APA. And then a one-sheeter that you should download to help you in all your classes. And it just tells you, I'll just click on it so you can see it. It's for Q1, but all students can use this. Student Success Guide tells you where you can find library resources. Tell your advisors is one of your resources. Answers for the library as well as your writing guide, which includes information to help you with Grammarly and things like that. And of course, you know that I, as your professor, as a source as well. Then, this is the announcement that you received welcoming you to the course, telling you the things that you can expect, giving you a little bit about me, telling you things that will help you, reminding you of our lecture schedule again, every other Tuesday from 8:30 to 10, beginning next week. And then also telling you about how to be prepared. If you run into technical problems, provide information as far as personal support. They're 24/7. Okay. So let's close that one. And then let's get to week 1 announcement. Week 1. This week, why do we have criminal laws? And you're going to read chapters 1 and 2 of criminal law and procedure. PowerPoints I should have already sent to you. I did already send to you, as well as the initial outlines for chapters 1 and 2 to help you as well. And then activities. What is criminal law and procedure, and how does a crime become a law? The point of the matter is that you'll see that under the lessons tab in your weekly. We're going to go over that in just a minute. And then a reminder about next Tuesday being your first lecture. Then, of course, your discussion assignment, which many of you have already started submitting. Note the deadline for this Friday, which is tomorrow, and all the lectures, all initial posts starting next week will be Tuesdays. And the reason why we did that is because we started courses on Wednesday. And then your reply posts, of course, we still do on Saturdays as normal. I will tell you that discussion posts should be in accordance with the rubric that I provided you with an email on rubrics. Also, you will lose a day every time your initial post is late or reply post. And be aware that initial posts and reply posts are due only the week of the discussion. After that, if it's submitted, for example, that Monday after it's over, you can't submit it because of the fact that the discussion is over and you will receive no points. You can't do any makeups, and you'll get a 0 for that. But you'll also be told that as well in the comments, so you won't have to wonder about it. Finally, your written assignment, representation of indigents. And this is one assignment I want to tell you, just so you'll know, that is a minimum of 1 page. It is the only written assignment in this whole course that is 1 page. most of your assignments, including your course projects, will be a total of 2 pages to 3 pages at a minimum, 2 pages at a minimum. The content and information involved, we'll be discussing that a little more in detail in just a minute. But that's due every Sunday, okay? Then the introduction is just going to explain to you how things work as far as the course project. Now, be aware of the fact that the course project is graded separately, each of the projects. It's not like some classes where you work your way up to a final project. No, it's given in segments, and that's the way that this particular course operates. But it's very important, and you'll see why on the point basis when we come to that in just a few minutes. Then a reminder about the open house. And then about my motto, adversity is a springboard to success. Okay? So now let's get into our syllabus. Okay, here's my name, my phone number again, my email address. You can email me with this, with a 2 or without a 2, and I will still get it. Again, I remind you again about the requirements for research and APA that I have on the cover page, so you have no reason not to be aware of it. Okay. Now let's talk about, we already talked about when discussion posted, but we're going to come to that again in a minute. But let's talk about the grading criteria. Now, discussions, 110 points. You get 5 points for initial post, 5 points for a reply post that is properly submitted and on time. I do encourage you to reply to more than one discussion post. You won't receive more than points, you won't receive extra credit, but it makes the discussion forum more interesting, and it opens up communication between you and your classmates as well. Again, as I said, discussions are due the week that they're issued, and the following week they cannot even be made up as late assignments. Your written assignments, you'll have every week a written assignment, and your written assignments are 20 points. So if you multiply the written assignments by the number of weeks, you'll come up with 220. So you get 10 points, you get 20 points for each week. Course project, there will be six weeks, including week 1, that you will have a course project along with the written assignment. They are equal to 100 points. 100 points, over half of the course. So what does that mean? When I grade them, I give you a rubric, but I read them very critically because of the fact that this is a very important paper. If it's going to be almost 58% of your grade, which is over half of your grade, almost 60% of your grade, it's going to be one that is very important for you to do a good job on. Remember, you only have 6 weeks that you will be doing it in. And you're going to, week 1, I'll go the schedule. You'll see it in a few minutes. But very important that you do a good job on these. I'm going to be very critical, and I read them very carefully. Then your quizzes. Each week you will have a quiz. Your quiz consists of 10 points. Now, be aware that I recommend that the quizzes be taken on Sundays at the end of the module. The reason being is because you will have had a chance to conduct research, you will have had a chance to finish your written assignments, or at least get most done your reading. You will have had a chance to review your PowerPoints that I'll provide for you each week, even on weeks when we don't have lectures. along with your outlines that I'll supply you with to help you to review the reading material as well, and to provide you other sources that you can utilize in your papers as well. So your total added up here, 100%. So you add up all of these points, and that is what that's how you get a perfect score. Now, here's the deal. I will be interested in seeing students in this first 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. But we aim for the first one. That's where I want you to end up. If you follow the processes, or if you don't have an answer to something, or you have a question, and you fail to reach out to me to ask me, or consider calling me, text me, emailing, or however, as I said before, then shame on you. But one question that you do not ask me, how do I get a C in your class? I will not answer that, because I don't focus on C students. I don't have to tell you how to be average. Students should recognize this. In the job market today, and in your advanced degrees, many of you want to go on to master's and bachelor's, and then you want to even go on even to doctorate or law degrees. Anyway, the bottom line is that it's the A and the B students that get hired at the top. The C students, well, you know the deal there. But ask yourself, if there is a B student and a C student applying for a position, more than likely the B student will be considered more seriously than the C student, because the B student has gone beyond average, but the A student is the cream of the crop, and that's where you want to be, Dean's List level for every single class, and that's my goal, and I can help you, but you have to also want help. Don't say, you know, the student says, oh, there's a lot of reading and a lot of materials. We understand that, and they're working on changing that in the future. But here's my point, that I can tell you that the material that's in here is way less than the material that I had to study, not just in law school, but when I was in college, when I took a criminal law course. And then we used big books, and they were pretty thick. So I'm saying to you that there's a good reason for the information in here. We want you to have a good, well-rounded education. And if you're going to be out here as a criminal justice professional, you should have a working knowledge of the law. Not enough to be a lawyer, but a working knowledge of the law. You will have courses that you will take in your continuing education, and usually in training with your various agencies that will also enhance this, and this will open up. So yeah, I remember this from taking J150. I remember these issues. Now, one of the things that we try to do at this school for all classes is impart in you what we call transferable skills. And the word defines itself. These are skills that are transferable from education to employment, from your school to your careers. And these are things that we've identified that are taking place outside of the school in the real world. So when you want to get a job, you need to be proficient in each of these skills. The first one, of course, is communication. Very important in all professions, but especially in criminal justice. You have to be able to communicate with people. You have to deal with people from all backgrounds. You're going to be able to have a very good grip on written and oral communication. And we have courses that deal with that, but we try to deal with that in every class we teach. Critical thinking, the number one thing that students need to understand. We know that you're going to do research. We know that you're going to take some of the material. but we're interested in how you apply that material along with the issues that are contained in the written assignment to establish your positions, pro or con, or either to express the details of the information. We want your good brain to be able to be poured out on your paper in your written assignment. And the requirements for number of pages is not just to fill paper, but because we feel that at least it takes that amount of information to adequately demonstrate your critical thinking. Now, we measure critical thinking by looking at and seeing how much material that you copied or took from the source that you did your research with. And we use a tool called Grammarly at this time. Now, Grammarly helps us to get a good idea of how much information that you have taken, but it also tells at the same time that if it's a high percentage of Grammarly, that you are not applying enough critical thinking. Therefore, each student has a Grammarly account, and we encourage you to run your papers through Grammarly. Take the time, it doesn't take long, and fix the issues. We want your own thoughts. Some students say, oh, these are my words. Yeah, but the problem is that you'll throw a few of your words in a statement that someone else already given, and that's not adequate for critical thinking. Critical thinking is your own ideas, your own suggestions, your own critique, your own analysis, your own application of the issues themselves. I can tell you that we in the law, us lawyers, we're natural critical thinkers because of the fact that that's how laws are ever changing. Is because we come up with our own thoughts and we present them in ways we get precedents or something authoritative to support our positions, but we also present our own views, our own positions. That's what we want you to do in critical thinking. It is so important. If you have a chance to, go ahead and Google it. Look at it, see what it is. And it explains to you. It ought to become a natural part of who you are because it's going to be a natural part of who you are in your careers. Those who are real good critical thinkers will do well and perform well. Those who don't, they won't. Digital fluency. Everything is digital these days. It's all digital. I came up during the time and we didn't have digital stuff. We had regular books and paper, but I welcome digital fluency because of the fact that I've learned how to go so far as to even teach an online course, how to utilize the online systems, how to do research online, how to do everything online. I have all kinds of resources that you guys have from iPads, iPhones, Android pads, Android phones, everything you have, desktops, laptops, and the whole works. So anyway, we're in a society where digital fluency is very important, and we want you to be able to understand and navigate. We want you to be able to utilize things like Outlook. We want you to be able to use Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, and things of that nature. We want you to be able to utilize these various tools and resources to help you. Diversity. Respect the fact that you will have students that are from different backgrounds. People present different positions. I may not agree with your position, and I'm not going to criticize you for it. Each person is entitled to their own opinion. I will say this, is that we're not going to embarrass people. We're not going to use foul language. We're not going to allow people to lambaste somebody's position just because they don't agree with them. We are from a diverse world. There are people of all ethnic groups at our school. You're going to, as a criminal law professional, or you're going to deal with people from all backgrounds, whether you are in corrections or law enforcement, police work, parole, probation, whatever. You're still going to deal with people from various backgrounds, and you need to be able to respect those individuals, and we encourage that as well. We have a diversity and inclusion council, which I'm a part of as well. Teamwork, you'll be working in teams, so we get you to understand the importance of working on a team, working with other individuals to be successful. Almost every issue, law enforcement, lawyers, and all other professions I know involve teams in all areas, whether it's a business course or nursing, health sciences, medicine, whatever. There's a team involved there. Ethics. We cannot stress that more. Ethics are very important. They should start at home. But ethics means that you recognize that you will obey the requirements of the law, that you will be honest, that you will demonstrate in the things that you do. And that's what we want you to do. There is a course in ethics that now is going to be taught again back in criminal justice. I'm so glad of that. And then there's also ethics applied in every course. We have an academic integrity policy must be followed as well. And then professional responsibility, abide by the rules of your profession, the codes that you have. We want you to learn how to do that and to follow them as well. And then finally, information literacy. You got to learn how to be able to research, find information, details. And it's very important that you learn that in school, and then you'll be applying many of those things that you learn in school in your professions. Next, and finally, on your here that we're going to go in detail, late assignments says up to 7 days. Notice, and then you'll lose 10% for each day. Now, listen to this. Even if you accept your assignment after 7 days, it's going to end up losing you 70 points. So your grade will be 30%, which is failing. So what's the point? The point is to get your assignments in on time. The same applies with discussion posts. I've already kind of alluded to that. Online discussions in the week of the module. Discussion posts made after the due date in the current week will not be accepted. So the point of the matter is that at the end of the week, if you haven't submitted your discussion post, you can't come and submit them later. You can, but you'll end up getting zeros. As an instructor, I can waive the late penalty in the case of extenuating circumstances, but I'm the one who will have to determine it. Now, here's the deal. I use my discretion. I'm pretty fair with everybody, but let me know. Let me know. Don't just submit something late and then don't say it, because sometimes you'll assume that, oh, I'm not going to get a chance to get a break on it. Let me know. If I determine that it's extenuating circumstances and I don't see a pattern, I will give you a grade as if it wasn't late. But don't try to, as many students have learned already, don't try to pull my leg, because I do pay attention. I have 91 students, but I still am pretty good at learning the habits of my students. I'll generally know you because you are a very good student, or I'll know you because you are a very poor student, one or the other. The average student is generally in the middle. I'll know a little bit, but you want to be known for being a good student. Why? Well, you may need a reference further down the road. I have a tendency to help students even after they leave my class. I'm working with a few now who have graduated and gone on. I got one who's on her way to law school right now, and I'm helping her with that. I've helped others in the same fashion to get jobs with the state police and sheriff's office and various positions. But, you know, get into the habit of communicating with me and letting me know what's going on. I'm going to talk about the incomplete grade policy, the academic integrity policy. I referred to that doing ethics. The plagiarism down here is not the same as the Grammarly hit, as I already explained. When plagiarism takes place with Grammarly, I have had students come back and say, I didn't violate the policy. No, but I told you earlier what it means when you have a high Grammarly plagiarism hit. And that's the agreement. This is a contract. And you want to make sure that you abide by it as well. Let's take a look at the course calendar. Course calendar, again, gives the schedule. Notice that Wednesday we started this week, and it gives all of your schedule, your initial post and your reply post as well. And then your written assignment is due Sunday, along with the quiz and your course project. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But you'll discover that your reading assignments normally will be on Mondays, and that your initial post Tuesdays, and that your lectures will be on Tuesday nights and not Thursday nights. Okay? And every week you'll see that. So if you have a question, take a look at that. Now let's take a look at the module for the week. Let's take a look again at the assignments. Here we go. The written assignment. And it tells you, and I think it says somewhere in here, a one-page, and no more than one page. And make sure that you have your citations and references. Okay? Representation of an indigent. You're going to answer all of these questions. If you have any questions about these, reach out to me and let me know that you have a question or concern about it. But all the information is given right here, along with the fact that there's some landmark cases like Gideon versus Wainwright. You need to be familiar with that regarding the right to counsel. And you need to make sure that you are familiar with this case, Eubank King versus Falk. I'm not going to tell you why. You'll discover if you do so. Okay? But remember the parameters, APA requirements, cover sheet also. This is your first project. Your first project. And here's where students always want to know, what do I do? This is here I'm going to say it. 2 to 3 page paper. Take the terms. Apply the terms to the scenario down here. Alan, Betty, Charlie. By the end of this course, you'll say, I'm sick of Betty, Charlie. Well, that means ABC. But that's what we've given. And you're going to take the facts, and then you're going to identify these issues, these titles in here, and then make sure the difference between state and federal courts is included. I refer again back to your rubric, which I'm going to go over again in just a minute to show you the importance of making sure that you do this. So somebody always asks me, do I need to define the terms only? Not just define them, but apply them. Give citations of the sources that you get the information from as well, and then references. Your citations should match your references. That is that if there's a citation and I don't see it listed in your reference page, then I'm going to, look at it and say, what is it all about? So your citations indicate the source of the statements that you use, And the reference is a source, actually, that you use, given in proper form according to the APA format. So you want to make sure you do that in a 2 to 3 page paper. Students always come and say, I can't do 2 to 3 pages. That means you're not doing a good job of laying out the facts. Please use paragraphs. Don't give me one long paragraph. I read through your grammar and things of that nature. It's very important that we get those things straight. Your spelling, make sure that the letter I, which is a common error, but the letter I, as many of you already said, well, I already noticed why he's saying it. If you could see some of the papers I have to grade sometimes, you will see that I have seen the letter I in lowercase in the paper standing by itself. So I know it's an oversight, but fix that up, because guess what? If you don't get into the habit of fixing that up now, one day you're going to have to do something like that for your boss, or you're going to write a police report, or you're going to write something, a report that's utilized in court, and a lawyer is going to embarrass you with that and make you look bad. And so I'm trying to bring it to your mind right now, okay? And then your discussion posts, and then your quiz. Okay, so now let's go back and let's look at the lesson content. This is where you will find the additional reading that I will say in your announcement. Again, list your announcements, the assignments. This right here and this right here is not a written assignment, but it is some reading or assignment that I want you to pay attention to. This, of course, is your written assignment. This is your course project that you have to do. Then this is your discussion and assignment. And then again, at the bottom, we provide some information about tutoring again. Okay, so what is a crime? And we, have you take a look at that and to explain what, get your understanding familiar with what is a crime and what are the constitutional protections. And you read that section. I'm not going to again go over it. State versus federal court. You're going to understand the difference between the two. If you have questions, again, reach out to me. The right to counsel. I already mentioned Gideon versus Wainwright. And so you'll be able to learn about that as well. That has to do with your Sixth Amendment right to counsel. Grand jury and jury trials. You'll learn about that as well, involving Gideon versus Wainwright as well. And then, not Gideon versus Wainwright, but there's another one. I'm drawing a blank on it right now. But the grand jury and jury trials. But I will say this, that the Eighth Amendment gives you a right to, it's the Sixth Amendment, gives you a right, wait a minute, I'm drawing a blank. Fifth Amendment is self-incrimination. The Fifth Amendment also deals with grand jury and trials by jury. But you have, under the 14th Amendment, applied to the states the right to the jury trials. And unless a jury and a trial, grand juries are closed and private, the public is not allowed in here. Under Article 3, Section 2, a criminal defendant has a right to a trial by jury. Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution is the right to jury trial, but it is applied to the states through the 14th Amendment. Kind of confusing, but and under the Sixth Amendment, a criminal defendant has a right to a speedy and perfect and partial trial by an impartial jury. That's what I meant when I said the Sixth Amendment earlier, okay? So you want to make sure you understand that. And then finally, military tribunals, it tells a little bit about it. That has to do with, of course, your assignment that you have for the day. Then you have these little drag and drop things that you do. For example, the constitutional distribution of government power and responsibility between the national government and the states. So you go through and you look and you see, what is it between the national government and the states? A lot of people want to do this, but I'll show you what happens if you do that. I already know that this was the answer right here. Here it is. But the fact of the matter is, people do go for that because they've heard about separation of powers. Separation of powers involves the constitutional assignment of executive, legislative, and different branches. That's the separation of powers. And then evils in themselves, such as crimes, murder, rape, and so forth. And then the doctrine of deciding cases based on precedent, stare decisis, retroactive laws that criminalize actions that were legal at the time performed, but afterwards, after committed, after the fact, or ex post facto. A formal document handed down by the grand jury, indictment, lawyers appointed by the president with the consent to prosecute federal trials are U.S. attorneys, a formal entry by a prosecutor who doesn't want to proceed, we call it nolli pros, or not want to prosecute. I know very well about that. And then finally, the last one is a uniform code of military justice. Now, let's go back to what I was talking about earlier, your course project. Now, your week one, what you're doing is you're articulating the foundation of the criminal justice system. That's the one where you get those definitions I talked about earlier. Week three, you're going to define conspiracy and homicide. Then you won't have any more until week 8. So in weeks 4, 5, 6, and 7, you will have just the written assignment, the quiz, and the discussion post. Of course, you're reading. But in week 8, 9 through 11, you'll have each one here. And each of these are 2 to 3 pages. And I told you each of these are worth 100 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which constitutes the 600 points for the project earlier. Again, I've given you a rubric to guide you in that. Must be 2 to 3 pages long, include in-text citation and a reference page. Okay, that's what I said, must. If you have any other questions, contact me. Again, this goes back to School of Justice Studies tutoring. I provide you the information, but then there's also some other information. The School of Justice Studies guide helps you as well. How to make an appointment, I already told you that. What you need to know before working with a tutor, those kind of things. So this is things we want to help you. We want to help you to succeed. Now, I want to show you what I sent you. I sent you your PowerPoints and the additional assignments, but I also sent you your rubric for discussion posts, your written assignment rubric, which if you open it up, it tells you 20 points, and it tells you how you can lose these points. Now remember, these rubrics do not contain the 2 points for not conducting research and using just a textbook or just a module. I want you to do research. And then each one of these are 20 points. And it tells you. Notice again, week 1 is the only one page in length. You'll lose a point. You'll lose a point for the length in terms of that, okay? Then the guideline project. This is the rubric for the assignment for week 1. 2 to 3 pages in length. You'll lose 5 points if it's not. Define the various terms. I told you that already. You'll lose 30 points. Applies the terms to the facts. You'll lose another 30 points. Identifies the difference between state and federal court. You'll lose points. Then APA requirements satisfied, spelling, grammar, you'll lose 5 points. So that's how each of these work. You go through the whole thing and then you'll see. So you will be aware. So you'll know if you haven't done these things in here, this is your rubric. I'm going to grade you and you will lose points accordingly unless there's a Grammarly hit. And I already told you about that earlier. Okay, so that lays out everything that I have for you for today. I hope that we have our attendance at the lecture next week that we have in week 2. That'll be Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. In the meantime, I'm going to say good night.